I still do it, but I was doing oil and gas at the time on a contract, and one of the guys, the story came out, and he was a Navy helicopter pilot. And he comes in, he goes, dude, can I talk to you, man? I go, what about? He goes, dude, I gotta talk to you. I said, what do you want to talk to me about? He says, dude, you know your UFO? He goes, I had a similar experience. I said, what's that? He said, he was flying CH-53s, which is a big heavy lift that the Marine Corps uses, the Navy uses it for certain things. And when they go off of, for the East Coast, they do a lot of shooting off of, at the time, it was off of Puerto Rico, we had Roosevelt Roads, and they ended up closing. But he was flying out of there, and, you got super clear Caribbean water, and they have these things that are called PQMs, they fly around, and then when they're all done, they'll fly towards the ships, and the ship can, they can track with the radar. And then they also do, in the ships or submarines shoot torpedoes, they're called telemetry rounds, so they can gather all the data on what the torpedo is doing underwater, and then they blow ballast, and this thing will come to the surface and float, and then they go pick them up, and then they can extract all the data. So they do it for most. So he said the first time they're out, they're going to pick up his BQM. And those things, when they're flying, their parachute comes out, and they hook it up. The helo drops the swimmer in the water. He goes and hooks this whole thing up, and then they hoist the whole thing up and fly back, and then they extract the data. So he says he's sitting in the front. In helicopters, there's, a CH-53, you can actually see down by your feet. It's just like typical, like you Hawaii, right? Because you can see when you're touching down. So you got really good visibility out of those things, and you can stick your head out the window too, because you're just kind of hanging out. He says he's going on there, and they're getting this thing hooked up, and he's looking down, because they're like 50 feet above the water. He sees kind of this dark mass coming up from the depths, and they're starting to hoist the diver up, and they've got the BQM, and as they hoist it up, he says, and he's looking at this thing, what the hell is that? And then it just goes back down to the water. It's just like, once they pull the kid and the BQM out of the water, this object just sinks back into the depths. So he thinks, well, that was pretty weird. So he goes out, he says, not too long later, a few months later, he's out, he's picking up a torpedo. So he says they hook the diver up on the winch, and they're lowering him in, and as he's looking down, he sees this big, massive, he goes, it's not a submarine, he's seen submarines before. Once you see a submarine, you can't confuse it with something else. This big object, kind of circular, he says, it's coming up from the depths, and he starts screaming through the intercom system to tell him to pull the diver up, and the diver's like a few feet from the water. So they reverse the winch, and the diver's thinking, what the hell's going on? And then he's getting pulled up, and all of a sudden, he said the torpedo just got sucked down underwater, and the object just descended back down into the depths, and they never recovered it.